the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Friday morning. We are so glad that you have joined us each and every day, wherever and whenever it is that you join us here on the Auburn Blitz and making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. I'm Brett. That's Faith. Glad to have everybody here. Good to see you this morning, Faith.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too.
Friday, it just feels like it never gets here, but then it does get here. And we have a lot going on, and always look forward to the weekend. It's a little bit of an extended weekend for everybody, as Monday is Martin Luther King holiday. So a lot of people will have an extra day on their weekends. That makes people smile. So we want people smiling as they tune us in here on a Friday. And another reason to smile, the Auburn women's basketball team have won 2 games in SEC play in a row, and this was a pretty big one. They knock off Alabama last night, 58-54, and that's only Alabama's second loss this season. And kudos to the girls. They're 13-6 now. If you look at some of the games in SEC play, they struggled. They're still not scoring a lot of points. They're still scoring, but the defense really ramped up and shut Alabama down, held them to a couple of quarters where they only scored 8 points last night. So very, very, very good for the Lady Tigers.
Big time that they made all 10 of their free throw attempts in the fourth quarter for Auburn. And Auburn held the Crimson Tide to nearly 20 points below their average. And so, again, like you just said, that defense, outstanding job by the Lady Tigers.
Yeah, exactly. And so congratulations to them. Glad they got that win. It's always good to beat Alabama in anything, checkers, chess, whatever it is.
Right.
JJ comes in and says the staff is cooking, WDE. Justin said, what do you think about Kiffin releasing those Ole Miss player contract details? I just sent something over to you this morning. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Not everybody. I don't know did I miss something on that?
I'm confused on that too.
You have to give us a little reference on that. We kind of went through a lot there, JC. So let us know what you kind of are referring to there on that. Hey, so more trench guys. And so we're going to look at this depth chart now as it stands for Auburn. And look, we knew coming into the week, we thought coming out of the weekend that you would see more of trench guys coming on board, and that's what we've seen this week. And we'll talk about kind of where that is. How many more people will Alex Golesh add to this roster? Is spring football in jeopardy? I got an interesting take on that, Faith. I want to see what you think about that. And then basketball is back home against South Carolina tomorrow, and we'll be there for that. We'll have a post-game show. We got a lot going on here on the Auburn Blitz. But first things first, more trench guys. Auburn picks up Walter Mathis Jr. from LSU, defensive lineman. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. I don't know how important that is to talk about that moving forward in this day and age. You take everything year to year. And then you pick up a offensive lineman in Jacob Stroud from Oregon State. We'll just start there.
With Jacob Strand? Either
one of them, either Strand or Walter Mathis Jr. We'll just start with those two guys.
Yeah. Jacob Strand, he's got some experience, and that's something that, we talked about how last year the offensive line was the most experienced, and it was the guys that, had been playing for a few years. And obviously after all of them either, graduated or transferred out, that it didn't make any difference that they were the most experienced, because it didn't show and portray that on the field. And so, it's it's time that Jacob Strand and some of these other guys that have that experience help out some of these younger guys and help them with some of their, I mean, whether it be their hands or their communication skills, something along those lines. I mean, but it was a critical position that Auburn needed experience, because you look at the depth chart before all these transfers coming in, and
Didn't
it's
look good.
thin and young.
Yeah, you didn't need to look at the depth chart after 34 people leave, and a lot of those were key depth pieces, at least, or starters. It wasn't pretty, but this staff has worked extremely hard to get this number up to what, 25, 26, 27. We don't have it right in front of us right now, but picking up those guys, another guy to watch is Deshaun Womack from Ole Miss, a big-time defensive end that got in the portal. You know, you and I kind of reported that last week or earlier this week. I don't know what day it is most of the time, but it all kind of runs together. But knowing that, I think it was this weekend when we did that, looking at another key piece, Auburn still needs to add another defensive end edge rusher to this list. So I want to go down this depth chart. We'll skip quarterback. We already know what quarterback looks like, and the four guys that are in that room, and you know, it's very evident who's going to be the lead guy there. We've talked a lot about the running backs. Feel great about our running back room now with Jeremiah Cobb and Bryson Washington and Nakai Davenport coming in, and of course Omar Mapson and Alvin Henderson being on the roster already. That's 5 guys there in the running back room. We've talked a bunch about the wide receivers, so let's skip through that. Let's get to this offensive line and who Auburn has picked up in the portal. We just talked about one guy that we just added in Jacob Strand, but then you look at Stanton Ramil and Ty Buster there. Ty Buster being on the roster already. A left guard transfer in TJ Hedrick. At center, you got Cole Best and Kel Ellis. Now you're starting to get a little depth here, Faith. You're starting to get some guys to, hey, look, we're just not one deep at this position.
Right.
Cole Skinner, Jacoby Ward at right guard, and then Joseph Simmons, the JMU transfer, and Jacob Strand at right tackle. Hey, 2 new guys there at right tackle, 1 new guy at left tackle. I'll start there. That's always a little scary when you bring in 2 brand new or 3 brand new tackles, but hey, you better get used to it. It's what we did this past year. Had to deal with it this past year. Didn't really work out well, but maybe with these guys and then going through spring, we'll see some continuity and some chemistry there.
Yeah, some of the guys that are from South Florida, it helps, I want to say, with some of the other transfers, you know, whether it's the receivers or the running back, and especially Byron Brown, because again, Cole Best from South Florida, you know, him and Byron Brown have played together. He knows Byron knows him, and that makes a huge difference when it comes to just that chemistry that they have. And I mean, you see all the time if there's a high snap or a low snap and how it just sets off the whole play into kind of chaos. But Cale Ellis, who was thrown into the fire after Connor Lew went down with an injury, you know, was impressed with him and in his, you know, what he was thrown right into as a freshman, a true freshman, really young guy. He might slide to guard if, you know, that
if needed.
Yeah, if needed. But again, I think it's good that you've got your center and quarterback who've already played together.
Huge. And again, going through spring, being able to, everybody's here. And so you're going to be able to get a full spring in before you get into fall camp. Maybe another one maybe another one or two that you pick up if you can to add depth to this offensive line room. Again, you're too deep. We went through the too deep there. But to me, and of course, you got some younger guys coming in. We're not talking about the recruiting class that, we're talking about who's there and then who's been brought in the transfer portal. So my one or two maybe that we could see, but feel a lot better today than we did a week ago about the offensive line. Same can be said about the defensive line, Faith, as you look at, who's going to be at the D tackle position, who's going to be at the nose tackle position, and what we're looking at as far as a DN.
Yeah. A few more familiar faces that have got some playing time, and
Right.
notable names that we've talked about at that D tackle, Malik Autry. We were talking about him, and
And let's not forget how highly touted he was coming out of high school. And he, again, learning the system, getting there. I'm expecting him to
physically growing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Already a big dude. And then you add in a year of experience now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he could be a massive piece. I'm excited to watch him in spring ball to see how much he's evolved.
Oh, absolutely. Very excited to see him. And then you've got Cody Sigler from Arkansas State and Walter Mathis Jr., LSU transfer that we just talked about.
Right.
Want to say yesterday, maybe?
Yeah. Well, he did. We actually filmed the noon show coming up, so we did talk about it yesterday.
Okay.
But that broke yesterday too. So yes,
yeah.
100%.
So we talk about it more on the noon show for everybody.
We don't know what day it is.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize because I was talking about us breaking something. And I didn't remember when it was either. I couldn't remember if it was Monday or the weekend or whatever, but it doesn't matter. We did it. So that's all that matters.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, looking at those guys at the defensive tackle position, I mean, we've already broken down Cody Sigler. Looking forward to watching that guy because his film, he is just he just motors all the time. I mean, he's got a high motor, gets after it, kind of plays a little bit dirty. Look, I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. You need that out of a D tackle. You got to have a little bit of an edge. So looking forward to that. And then Walter Mathis Jr., guy comes in, got good size. We'll see where he kind of falls in the mix there at that position. Then you slide down to nose tackle. I've been high on Jordan Crawford since I called his games at Parker High School. And I knew that I still stand by this. He's probably the best defensive tackle in high school I've ever watched. I've never watched a guy that has been that dominant at that level and would demand a double team and still beat two guys and make plays in the backfield, all while you got Vodney Cleveland over there and other guys on that defense that, you're like, well, if they're double teaming Jordan Crawford, it's really going to open up opportunities for them to be better. And Jordan Crawford was still beating them back there to make the play. I'm like, this guy's unreal. I'm like, I've never been more excited about landing a guy out of high school than I have Jordan Crawford over the last several years. Nose tackle, thought he had a good first year for Auburn and in the amount of time that he played, but really taking that next step this year and being the starter at nose tackle.
Yeah, I remember when we went to go visit Vodney and him talking about just the transformation of Jordan and how he's really, stepped into that growth and that size and everything like that. And so that was only in the summer. Right. And he had only been there for 4 or 5 months at that point. And so now after having a year under his belt and some experience and learning, I am really excited to see what he's going to be able to do. And, I'm really looking forward to watching him.
Yep. And then you got St. Farrier coming in from Appalachian State. So, again, another piece that was recently added here in that defensive line room. Defensive end, Darian Smith, and then you got J.J. Falk. So it's still a little thin there. That's why I think Deshaun Womack could really be a boost there. When you only got two guys there at defensive end, you definitely need a third. And I know some people are like, well, what about Jared Smith? Well, Jared Smith's a true edge rusher.
Mhm.
And we're about to talk about that. We're about to talk about edge rushers. So that's your defensive line for the most part. Not terrible. A lot of youth, a lot of guys with inexperience, but you're mixing some guys in the portal that have some of that you're bringing in, what you want.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go down to the edge rusher position. Jared Smith, I'm expecting to have a phenomenal year. He's another one of those. Now, I know, Jordan, different position, not defensive tackle, but edge. Jared Smith, when I watched him at Thompson, I was like, if there's any way we can land this kid and he not go across the state and go to them, like, he just screams domination. And that's what he did for Thompson, and, played limited this year, but got in there, made some plays this year, was excited to kind of see what he was able to do in his first year. You add Nate Johnson from Missouri that we talked about last week, Faith, and then you add you have Joe Phillips. And remember, Joe Phillips was a guy everybody wanted from Booker T. Washington High School. Georgia thought they had him. Their fans were pissed when he flipped to Auburn, and we haven't heard a lot out of him.
Mhm.
We haven't heard a lot out of Joe Phillips, so maybe this is his time to shine. Maybe, again, these are all highly ranked guys coming out of high school. Now, again, playing behind Keldrick Falk and some of those guys, Kieron Crawford, it's time to step up, and it's their turn.
And those are going to be big shoes to fill because,
Right.
again, I mean, how many times have you heard Keldrick Falk's name or Kieron Crawford? But who else would you want to sit and learn behind for your first freshman year that
Right.
you can learn and grow from? And so that's where, again, I think staying that course and staying behind guys like Keldrick Falk and Kieron Crawford and learning behind them, I think there is a huge, huge step for them to make and shoes to fill.
No doubt. No doubt. Some comments over here. If the staff can do this much in a short period of time, I'm excited to see what they can do with a full recruiting cycle. Look, I'm there with you. I think this staff has proven that they have. And again, there's something about bringing in a majority of that staff and everybody staying together and learning. No, you cut out the learning curve. You cut out some of the things that you have to because you have that experience together. JJ said, I really like the O-line coach, and I think he's going to make some of these guys great. We hope so. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Ronald said, good morning.
Wait, I have to address JJ.
Well, okay, what
his
about
comment before?
Okay, I missed it.
No, him just saying about how just the hydration. So I just want to say thank you for that because I take pride in that.
Well, I don't know anybody that wants to walk around dehydrated. Now, my cup's not as big as yours, but hey, it's a good cup, isn't it? It's a really good cup. But yeah, I couldn't carry JJ. I couldn't carry around a cup this big.
Like he carries around my cup.
I do. I have to be the cup assistant most of the time, but like I don't know how she and she fills it up like 2 or 3 times a day. So it's crazy. She is not dehydrated for sure. All right.
Sorry.
No, hey, look, we got to address the comments. Ronald said, good morning. It feels good to start the new chapter out with the old in and the new. No, will he stay or go? Fresh air, War Eagle. Like, Yep, no doubt. Jared Smith could have a huge year. That's what I'm saying. I think so. I definitely think so. Pooh Crawford as much as a big upside. Tubbs, no doubt. I'm telling you, huge upside with that guy. Huge upside with that guy. So, I think Faye's probably proud of her bicep. She gets to do a lot of curls with that cup a lot. So that's where she gets her workout in. All right, let's talk about some of our partners. We got a lot more to get through here this morning. We got also something we want to talk about with you coming up today. And So everybody wants to hang around and catch that. But we first start with Sensory Green.
For air that's warm and clean during this cold snap, call on Sensory Green. They are the carrier experts in the state of Alabama, proud supporter of Auburn athletics and a proud supporter of Auburn Blitz. I mean, it's so cold outside right now. I really don't want to go outside if I don't have to. So make sure you have a unit that's reliable because it goes back and forth from being 20 degrees and 70 degrees. So call on Sensory Green. They're going to save you lots of money when it comes to your carrier units.
That's right. Who doesn't want to save money, like you say, every day? Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm located in Birmingham, Alabama, and they will handle your project. Look, I know we say this every day, but seriously, if you got some type of big project coming up in the plans, you need to call Scout Program Management. That's what they do. They are professionals. They're the best in the business. Check them out, scoutpm.com, for your next big construction project. They will take you from the pre-construction phase all the way to the finished product. So check them out, scoutpm.com.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn, all your fun things that you like to do. I mean, sports, food, music, fun. I mean, I can't find anywhere else to go other than Bunkers for all those things. They have 2 stages, live music. I mean, for the game tomorrow, if you're not able to make it, you might as well go to Bunkers. I know they're going to have it on, and they expanded their dining area. So make sure you head over there. They've got the best drinks and deals, any places that you can't find in town, and 50 parking spaces too. So head over to Bunkers in downtown Auburn.
We had some line dancing going on last night. I saw on social media, and it was packed. So they got all kind of different stuff going on in Bunkers. You need to check them out today. The Cart Source, talked to Harrison yesterday, man. Looking forward to it. We're going to go back to the Cart Source, man. We're looking forward to it. Now I have to keep Faith off of these golf carts. She's going to be driving these golf carts all over the place when we're trying to do the show. But we're going to be going down there sometime in the near future to do a show from the Cart Source, Alabama's premier golf cart superstore. Easy Go Cushman Yamaha Club Car. Call them, 334-231-2205. I can't wait.
I'm so excited.
I'm ready to go drive some golf carts, man.
That's right.
Test them out. So we're going to be able to show everybody firsthand some of these unreal golf carts that he has.
How fast they are.
And the pricing of these guys. Yeah, look at you, how fast. Yeah,
Brett's going to race. He's going to run as fast as I'm driving the golf cart.
Yeah, that won't be far. It won't go far then. That race won't last long. I can tell you that. Appreciate you, JJ. Yeah. Yeah, we pour a lot of, literally up last night till way past 10. Had to film a show for this afternoon. We got a lot to get ready for today, which is a good segue into this. Today, another On the Front Row with Faith episode will be filmed with none other than Auburn basketball player Elijah Freeman. So looking forward to that. I always get the privilege of getting the front row. I get to see this live and in person. You guys get to watch it on our channel, but I get to be the guy that sits there and watches it in person. So I'm looking forward to. I always look forward to these.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go and talk with him. I mean, he's got a great story. So not sure when it's going to come out, but I'm really excited to film it. And who knows, once it gets edited, maybe I'll throw it up on a different day of the week. I have no idea.
Keep people on their toes, man. Keep people on
their TBD. But it's not going to be ready by 2 today, which is fine. But really excited. So be on the lookout for that, and I'm sure we'll promote it before I post it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, really, really excited.
Yes, I am too. He's an electric guy. Judge said he saw Elijah at the Stranger Things screening in Columbus. So yeah, looking forward.
Maybe I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, there you go. Need a little bit of insight there. Hogbone said, "I'm glad to hear y'all talk about Crawford. I was thrilled to get him as much as anybody." He said, "Reminds me of Elvis Doomerville." Yeah, not DM, but in the way his motor, he's just a phenomenal player. I mean, one that you wanted, size-wise, physicality, and athleticism was off the charts. So glad to have Jordan Crawford He said he was with Tahad and Keyshawn. So there at the screening. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Hogbone. I'd forgotten. I had it on my notes and I left it downstairs. How about Dylan Cardwell right now, man? The guy just lights up everywhere he goes. And just, I think everybody needs to strive to live life like Dylan Cardwell. Everything is just always fun. He's always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always trying to help somebody. He's always talking about, he blocks LeBron's shot, but then he talks about he's my favorite player. I mean, this will be what I tell my grandkids about. Like, it just makes you smile, man. Like, and I don't like LeBron, so I'm glad he blocked the shot, but I'm glad he got a chance to make a play against his childhood idol that he grew up watching and wearing his jersey, and then he's out there playing and he blocks his shot. Like, this guy is just the epitome of what everybody should want to be.
Yeah, he's one of the most awesome guys. I mean, one of those people that when you're around him, I mean, you immediately light up. And so I'm really happy for him. And again, he was Mr. Auburn for a time, and miss having him there. Yeah, miss having him light up the jungle no matter what was going on. I mean, he just brought the energy. And now, obviously, you see him bringing that energy to the NBA.
Yeah. Tubbs said Freeman will be in the NBA one day, and that's going to be cool. I totally agree. I think probably the most upside on this roster of an NBA potential is Elijah Freeman, just with the way he's able to – he's just so versatile, and he fits the NBA style now. So not saying that some of these other guys – not saying Keyshawn Hall's not going to be in the NBA, not saying Tahad will make it, whatever, but definitely Elijah Freeman – he just screams what they look for in the NBA. So that's going to be, that's going to be interesting to hear. Like, maybe, I don't know what you got. I know you got your interview all planned out, Faith, but all of us out here giving you, some questions that you might ask. But like, one might be good is who was his idol growing up? Who did he idolize watching? So I'm sure you probably already got that handled. But yeah, Jabari posterizing Dylan. Two Auburn guys. I'm sure they had some back and forth about that. But like, he's taken over Sacramento. Like, the fans love Dylan Cardwell out there. And why wouldn't? Because of what he brings, and he just has so much fun playing the game. I know he's getting paid to play now, but like he said, that guy is one that would play basketball for free.
Absolutely.
He just loves to play the game and loves to have fun. That's it. So
Tubbs, yeah, his brother is still on the team.
Yep. He just a good dude, man. Just a good dude. All right, is spring football in jeopardy? I'm going somewhere with this. Now, we're excited to hear that we'll have the typical 8-day game this year on April the 18th. But moving into the future with the way things are, will we see things go away from a spring practice, spring game, and will you see things be moved to more like what the NFL does with, organized team activities, OTAs for all of you out there in the football world, but organized team activities where you do that and you change up maybe the signing period and the portal gets adjusted again. And I don't know, it just feels like it may go that direction because I think it's just everything is shifting more toward, I think contracts are coming. I think you're going to see a shift in this to OTAs. I just think there's a lot of that coming in this realm of college football now because it's becoming more of a pro sport.
Well, you heard Nick Saban a couple of weeks ago talk about how the signing period and the transfer portal should be at the end of the spring semester so that, people can transfer in then. And then, it doesn't mess with the academic schedule and no poaching like that can happen. And so what does that mean for spring football? Well, if the transfer portal is at the end of the spring semester, well, that means what's the entire spring going to look like? So I don't know what the right answer is for all of this because obviously right now with the college football playoffs going on and the portal window closing of when you can enter the transfer portal, I mean, I don't think this is the right answer timing wise, because when guys are playing still in the college football playoffs, I mean, what are you doing? Like going in and out of the portal. I mean, coaches changing around too. And are they going to be coaching the playoffs? I mean, there's so much.
We've already seen that disaster play out right now with
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. I definitely think, yes, sir, Michael. We talked about that to start, man. Big win for the girls.
Hi, Michael.
Yep. Always good to hear from Michael.
Yes.
Always good to he is a tremendous Auburn fan out there. Everybody knows who Michael is. But again, looking at we all can agree the calendar's screwed up with all of this. Everything's sandwiched right here. Got teams in the playoffs, got the portal going on, trying to keep your roster. It's a mess. They got to fix that part. And so I think you'll see some of that kind of stuff go into effect down the line. But for now, spring will be as normal, and looking forward to that. Hey, I do want to talk about that. I know it's not related to Auburn, but it could be related to Auburn at some point in time, Faith, with some of these NIL contracts getting leaked and then players going, uh-oh, I don't get paid as much as that guy, and I've been here longer and I've done more. It obviously was to create chaos.
Right.
And basically a post went up yesterday claiming players saw that what other players are making. They didn't like it. Some newer guys were reportedly earning more than the returning players. One of their linebackers, TJ Daugherty, you sent me that a post, I think, that Jeremiah Cobb made on Daugherty getting in the portal, and he got in the portal late because found out that, look, what if this happens to everybody? Here's what you're creating with this. And when these numbers leak out, and you and I know about another leak, and we won't say anything about it, but how easy a leak can come out. And then all of a sudden you got a mess and you got strife internally. And then you got people going, no, man, I ain't staying around here. Like, there's no part of me that doesn't think Lane Kiffin wasn't complicit in this. He just loves to stir up crap.
He absolutely sat there thinking, this is great. I mean, people are going to be talking about this. And we know how much he loves drama in the first place and loves his name to be talked about. So, I mean, it's crazy seeing how some of these contracts or what these numbers are that these guys are getting offered. And then again, you sit there and you say, well, I'm not getting offered that. And it makes everyone think I'm worth this number. I deserve this. And the number just keeps going up, up, up. How much more can schools offer to pay these guys?
That's it. And, now you gotta go answer to them and figure out how you mend fences and smooth things back over. And then some guys just say, look, man, I'm getting screwed here and I'm getting out. So, Hogbone said, guess what? I worked for the state and new people were being hired all the time after I was working, hired at a higher salary than I was making. Yeah. And that's the thing, in the real world out here in the public setting, like for the state, your salaries are public knowledge.
Right.
So I also worked at a college where you could go in there and you could see what everybody was making. And you were like, man, that guy making more than me. And so, and let me be honest with you, it caused strife. It created a tense work environment because you knew some people were lazy as hell and they were getting way more money than they deserved. And then you had somebody else over here working their butt into the dirt and they weren't getting what they felt like they needed. So it does create and did create. I'm just being honest about it. Now that
already LSU has the government involved with their program and talking about, money and stuff like that. And honestly, I think
no more government's not better ever.
Yeah. I think Lane Kiffin is going to cause the biggest nightmare
Right.
Baton Rouge. And I've watched the start of it unfold, and I don't think it's anywhere near close to being over with him.
No, it's not. Not at all. Deep down inside, Lane Kiffin was pissed and jealous the whole time. He was acting like he was supporting Ole Miss, but every time they took the next step, he was like that's why I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, go win this thing, Ole Miss," just to throw a big old crap pie right in the face of Lane Kiffin. That's
Right.
what everybody wanted. Some great comments coming in. Tubb said, "I do wonder about the relationships, how they're going to be between old players, USF guys." And look, you're going to run into that every year.
Mhm.
Like, that is utmost important for those guys to mesh as quickly as possible. And, some of these guys that are coming in and some of the guys that were on the roster for Auburn didn't start, that are left on the roster didn't start. So they're going to have to work their way in anyway. And again, you asked the question what I thought about how loyal would Alex Golesh be to those guys coming in. I think he's going to be loyal to everybody on the team. And I think he's going to say, let's go out here. Just because you played for me the last few years at South Florida doesn't mean I'm giving you this job here.
The
You
same
gotta-
way he's cleared out some of
Right.
the Auburn guys. He hasn't found,
Right.
any of them to be any different than probably the guys that he's brought in. If you want to work hard and you want to play, well, you're going to have to prove out on the field that you
Right.
can play. It's not that, and I find that Auburn has had that part of trust issues with some of the other coaches and saying, hey, because we're paying you this dollar sign,
Right.
that's why you're going to play, because we spent so much money on you to bring you in here. I don't see Alex Golesh doing that at all.
I don't either. So, we're going to get to see it full-fledged. Man, I'm loving the comment section today. We got some great ones over here. Michael said Auburn dodged a bullet by not hiring Kiffin. Amen. Like, don't want that slime ball here. I know he's won games and done things, but everywhere he goes, he creates a big slime trail behind him. So keep his yoga workouts and his womanizing and all that other shit that he does over either in Mississippi or in Louisiana. We don't want it over here. I guess Tuscaloosa may take him. They may hire him at some point in time.
Yeah.
But I don't want him in Auburn. I don't give a crap
No thanks.
what he can win. Stay away. He just gives you the damn. So, all right. Future predictions, Steven said, player strikes and money wells drying up. I could see that right now.
You're starting to hear about
guys getting pissed off going, you know what? All right, until you raise and then when you start bringing in like a player agency representative, you could see a union type thing for player association like you see in the NFL. Like, this is just the start of all this, man. Like, every day something happens to challenge the existing landscape of college football, and it changes constantly. Michael said, I want to know, no, this is not about Auburn, but would love to hear my thoughts on the proposed bill in the Alabama legislature to take over the HSA. I don't think it's a good idea, Michael. I don't think the government needs to take over the HSA. And I'm trying to be unbiased about this, but I don't know why they think as a voted member from a district, they can form a committee to run the High School Athletic Association. They have bigger fish to fry running state government. So, yeah, could you have a say in what goes on with the HSA? Of course. But I don't think the state legislature needs to take the AHSA over. I think it's a terrible idea. That's just my opinion. Because I don't know how many times when you add government into things that it really works out well.
Well, you literally just said it when we were talking about LSU's government
disaster down there with the governor just going crazy, saying we're firing this guy and we're doing this and not all this kind of stuff. Look, we're all here for it. We're all here with our popcorn for the Lane Kiffin and LSU show, and they're out there buying as many people as they can buy and spend as much money. But
we're here to watch.
I just want to watch this thing. And when this one crashes, it may be like the Hindenburg. It may be the biggest ball of fire that you've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
It's always a possibility with that guy. Yeah, and Hogbone's right. He wouldn't have stayed anyway. Like that he's one of those that's always looking for a greener pasture. Wherever he is, he's looking past where he is to the next thing. So, yeah, I mean, last word, we're from the government and we're here to help you. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for your help. I'll pass. So, but the last thing we want to talk about is basketball. But before we do that, we do have some more partners we want to talk about.
Oliver Ross, for all of your bartending events that you need professional licensed bartenders, call on Oliver Ross. They are going to be the bartending service for you, whether it's 20 people or 20,000. Oliver Ross will bartend. I mean, if you've got weddings or work conventions, I don't know what you've got going on, sorority, fraternity, date parties, Oliver Ross will be the bartending service for you. So give him a call.
Absolutely. Russell Medical Center, your healthcare is the utmost important thing in the world, you and your family. So for the best medical care, you need to check out Russell Medical Center, voted one of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama. They are partnered with UAB Health. Again, best doctors, best facilities, whatever. Don't have to fight the big city traffic and the in and out of that. So they've just got so much going for them, and they're going to help you with whatever it is that you need, and they're going to get you to the right place if they can't do it in Alex City. So check out Russell Medical Center, voted one of the top 3 hospitals in the state of Alabama. And Alex City Marine, hey, I'm glad to see the sun out like yesterday, but it is brutally cold. Not the best day to be on a boat, but you can be dreaming about warmer days, and you in this Blackfin center console in whatever color you want, or on a pontoon boat that they have there at Alex City Marine, whatever it is, the Landaus, the all the different brands. I can go through all of them, but why do you want me to run through them when you can go to Alex City Marine and see them for yourself? So if you're listening out there in podcast world, you can't see this picture, but envision this unbelievable center console sitting here waiting for you to get it hooked up behind your truck, taken down the road, put in at the lake, put in at the bay, down on the coast, wherever it is. Check them out, 256-215-3474. Don't call them, just go see them. And, you know, I could see us in one of those this spring, this summer. Don't we have work to do? We got a partnership with another business that we got pictures and videos to take. So maybe we can partner with Out City Marine to let us take out one of those unreal center consoles. I'm always working.
I'm all here for it.
I'm always working deals here. So already dreaming of warmer days and full lake. Plug day will be soon. So Michael said men's basketball might have to be jungle merchants and just win the rest of the home. Got to. Need to win all of them, man. Need to win starting Saturday. It's a good segue into what we want to finish up with here. Auburn, not a pretty performance against Missouri. They're 1-3 in league play. You and I kind of did a what if, what's it going to look like moving forward? We kind of had some orange and blue glasses on a little bit on the post-game show. But we said Auburn, if things played out, went through the rest of the schedule, would go 10-8 in SEC play and go 20-12 overall, which, man, I'll take it. I'll take that. I think that's good enough to get in the tournament, especially if you go to Nashville and win a couple of games. I think you're in for sure. But now you're kind of up against the wall here, starting off 1-3. You know, to get to that 10-win mark, you got to win 9 of the remainder games, and you can't drop games at home. You got to figure out ways to win your home games, and then you got to go steal a few on the road. That's the formula.
Yeah, it is. I mean, tomorrow against South Carolina, Auburn on the matchup predictor is to win by 86%. So that is in Auburn's favor by far. So got to see a lot more from Keyshawn Hall tomorrow. Didn't see a lot from him against Missouri.
Yeah, that was a outlier. I'm hoping that's an outlier because he's a 21, 22 point per game guy. the previous 2 games before Missouri, he had scored 32 points in each one of those contests. I think you'll see a different Keyshawn Hall tomorrow. I just got
Back at
that feeling.
home.
Yeah, I just got that feeling. I just want to see Tahad get settled in some form or fashion. Like, his stat lines have not been good at all. Like, 6 points, 0 of 4, 1 of 6, 1 of 7 shooting from outside, 1 or 2 assists. That's all got to get better. I mean, if Auburn is to win, you can't just rely on one guy and Keyshawn Hall to carry you every single night. And the bench has somehow got to get deeper. You've got to start getting some more quality minutes for some guys that don't start, because right now Auburn's playing 7 to 8 guys max with substantial minutes, and that's pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really more like 6 guys. And then with the injuries and the things, and we've had a couple guys banged up. Keyshawn Hall's been banged up. Philip Jovic's been banged up. And whatever Caden Magwood's doing, he needs to pick it up a little bit. So Caden Magwood, we got to have some help from him. And so we'll see that. Mr. Albee said, I think Todd regrets coming back. I mean, he's kind of in control of that. I think he came back for a reason. I mean, I think he got paid well, and I think he felt like could increase his draft stock. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Hogbone, I'm thinking.
Michael just said that he's probably hurt his draft stock by coming back and the way he's performed.
Yeah. There's no question. I mean, he has not lived up to billing this year. I do think he's out of position. I think that's part of this thing. I think he's not a true point guard. I think he's having to play that. And I think he's a true 2 that doesn't have to worry about getting distributing the basketball. He just goes, gets buckets. He's got a lot on his plate as the point guard, and I don't think he's handling it very well. I think that's why he shines so much in the NBA Combine, is because he could just showcase what he's able to do.
Yeah,
2 guard, but he's not being able to play that right now. Hogbone said 8 and 10 and an NIT invite, still a great job with our lack of depth and lack of defense. I mean, I'm going to probably say that's more realistic right now, but I would like to have, like Faith and I had our orange and blue glasses on in the postgame show the other night, a little bit of, can Auburn go get a couple of wins they're maybe not supposed to get, and then hold serve it at home and see how it kind of plays out.
Yeah.
I mean,
gotta get that defense under control.
Yeah, that's kind of what Hogbone's saying there. The defense has got to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael brings up a good point. Auburn was the best team by far in the league last year. Now Florida won the national championship, no doubt. But Auburn, from start to finish, was the best overall team. And, while you're in the midst of the run, you got to enjoy it, because they don't come around. You just kind of start thinking, oh, we'll just do it again next year. We'll just do it again next year. So, honestly, do we think SP is the guy? Corey said. I think it's just too early to know, Corey. I think you got to – here's what I said yesterday, Faith, on the noon show. I want to see if you agree with me. I think you'll truly know about Stephen Pearl when this next recruiting cycle comes through.
Mm-hmm.
He was dealt this team. This was the team that was already in place, coaching staff already in place. After this year, whatever the results, now they've got to go and recruit new guys. What kind of guys can he get to come play for him at this Auburn now? At this Auburn. This is his Auburn now, not his dad's Auburn. So can he go get top dogs in the country to come play for him? And that recruiting cycle will tell me, Corey, a lot about who Stephen Pearl really is and what other players think about him and his program. What do you think about that, Faith?
I think we talk about all the time with Alex Golish having growing pains this next year, and how we think if it was bad before, it could get worse because of the growing pains. And that's the exact same thing we have to think about for Stephen Pearl. As much as, he was on the staff and the staff has stayed the same,
Right.
it's still a brand new group of guys. And like you said, this isn't his team. And you have to give some sort of grace for some growing pain, and you have to stand behind your coach as a fan base and as even a team of going and saying, hey, we got to let him work out some of the kinks that he maybe didn't know he was going to have to deal with. I mean, again, you saw when DJ Durkin was the interim head coach, the defense lacked a lot compared to before when he was just the DC. And so same thing with Stephen Pearl. I mean, he was that defensive minded guy. Now he's being stretched thin across the entire team. That you have to say, hey, give him a moment to learn where he fits in that head coaching position. And I know that, the timing of him being the head coach was later. And so again, he had to kind of expand himself so quickly before the season starts and now into the season that you've got to stand behind him.
Let me clip that, what you just said. Deanna, if you're watching, that's definitely an Instagram clip right there. I don't know that anybody could have said any of that any better. I mean, you're spot on. Perfect analysis there with DJ Durkin and then Stephen Pearl and kind of what you get dealt. Now, I know it's a little bit different with Durkin taking over in the middle of the year, but it's still the same principle of now you got to do all of this and you can't just concentrate on one particular area like you have been. Mr. Albee said he agrees. 2-guard last year, good blend. And he came off the bench too. You got to remember that. Looking forward to the rest of the basketball season. Baseball season fast approaching. We're going to talk a lot more about baseball. I think are they preseason ranked number 10. And look, really good roster coming back. Excited for that. We'll be covering baseball too and softball. Able to talk to Daigle Wilson yesterday. You and I chatted with her, and looking forward to maybe getting her involved a little bit with what we do here during the year when she has time. She's just got a tremendously busy schedule, obviously, but get excited about. Look, I feel like we've got somebody on the team. It was kind of like, knowing Daigle and her family now and the interviews you've done with her and that we've done with her through AHSA. And it just feels like, hey, we love Auburn softball, but, Daigle's out there. It's like, we got to go watch Daigle too. So, so definitely pulling for her and the whole team. Looking forward to them this year. I think they're going to have a really good season. So, all right. Anything else? We got a busy day ahead of us. Looking forward to heading over to Neville here in just a little bit to see you and Elijah Freeman in an interview that will be pushed out a little bit later on with another On the Front Row with Faith episode. It's always fun to see those. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And again, we'll be posting on social media of when that's going to get out and be promoting it before it happens. So really excited though.
Yeah, Michael said being an Auburn fan is a roller coaster. There is no question.
You find the loyalty in the person and in the fan base and who they are.
We're on the roller coaster for the whole ride. We're on it from start to finish, the ups and the downs and the twist and the upside down and everything else that you can get on a roller coaster.
That's right.
Appreciate you, JJ. Appreciate you, Hogbone. Appreciate you, Michael, Mr. Albee, Ed, everybody. I could just name off the hundreds and thousands of you that watch each and every day, and appreciate all of you so very much for interacting with us and making the show what it is. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go out and do that. It helps us out tremendously. And go hit the like button. And all of you in Facebook world, we appreciate you out there. And all of you that listen out there in podcast land, wherever it is that you get your podcast, we appreciate all of you guys as well. Mr. Albee wants you to get Elijah to open up a little bit. He seems a little bit too quiet. She'll do that. She'll pull it out of him. I promise you. So get him to talk a little bit. Some are a little bit tougher than others,
That is true.
But most of them pretty good.
Yeah, I feel confident that I'll be able to hopefully get him to get talking and
Yeah.
do something to get him excited.
Hopefully it's not a lot of this. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I hear him say, "Yes, ma'am," I'm gonna freak
I'm gonna
out.
whisper to his ear and say, the first thing you need to say, Elijah, is say, she does not like when people don't respect her and not call her ma'am. So you better call her ma'am. We'll see how that goes. All right, we're gonna get out. Faith, you got anything else?
Hope everyone has the best weekend ever. Yes, Michael, thank you. I appreciate that. Wish we could go back to Mr. Delaney's class. I had so much fun in there, but I love you, Floyd. Anyway, but I hope everyone has the best weekend ever. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. We will be on at noon. So make sure you tune us in for the noon show.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And you're right, Hogbone. We will tell you what we think. No doubt about it, for sure. All right, we'll catch everybody later. Again, like Faith said, have a great, safe, and warm weekend. Be nice to people, do good things. And we'll catch you next time for more of the Auburn Blitz.